Hey dolls, so me and Raya are at you. It's my first repaint. Check her out. I must say I'm really impressed. I know that I have, you know, some artistic skills, but I didn't know how my first repaint came out. I'm gonna show you some up close pictures of her and everything and let you know what I did, but I want to kind of give you a step by step. Now if I knew she was gonna come out looking like that, I would have recorded the whole process, but since it was my first repaint, I didn't want to do all that recording and then be like here. So I'm going to do a video tutorial next if y'all want to see one. If y'all are interested in repaint tutorials, please let me know, because I will make sure that I start doing recording them. I have a really cool project in mind for my next repaint that I want to do, and I'm definitely going to share that one. But anyways, I wanted to show y'all, this is Raya. It took everything in me not to name her Rihanna, but this is Raya, and I want to tell you how I went about doing her, and I also first want to show you all of the supplies that I use. Okay, so the first thing that I did, you're gonna need a good sharp pair of scissors and some long nose pliers. The first thing you want to do is boil the head, well, cut off the hair, boil the rest of the head with the hair that's left over, and then I use these long nose pliers to go ahead and pull out all of the hair that's inside the head. After that's done, I just use cotton swabs with some 100% acetone nail polish remover. When you get the nail polish remover, just make sure it's 100% acetone, not any of the weaker strains, and then it'll come off with no problem. To go ahead and wipe off all of the paint from the face, and then after you're done wiping it off, you can give it one more wash under some hot, warm, soapy water, and the face is clear like this and ready to go. Next, this is probably like one of the most important parts of the repaint. Unless you have, I saw other methods where you can use like a airbrush tool, but Mr. Super Clear is what you're going to use to spray on the face, and you let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes. I let mine sit for about 30 minutes, but I believe it was good probably like after 10 or 15 minutes. And this is what you need so that you can get the tooth on the surface of the doll skin, so that you can go ahead and use your art tools, whether you're using soft pastels and watercolor pencils or any other kind of art tool. In this picture you can see that I had on my gloves, and I got these from Amazon as well, and this is good because it keeps the project nice and clean, and it doesn't, you know, you don't get any unnecessary residue from your own hands that can be clean, but they still secrete oils naturally on the surface of the doll. Next, I went ahead and I blushed her just a little bit, slightly like around her cheeks and her nose area, and also a little bit on the top of her forehead. So I wanted to show you what type of pastels that I've been using. These are Munguyo. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I call them Munguyo pastels. These are handmade soft pastels. Now I'm going to show you the difference between this one and another one that I ordered from Amazon, because the first time that I ordered it, I think I ordered the wrong one. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two. Now these are the handmade soft pastels, and I absolutely love this color palette. These pastels have very rich colors, as you can see. They pick up on the skin super easily. Okay, so it has a good variety, even though these are only 30 colors. I'm going to show you the other one that I ordered the first time that I was thinking about returning, but I think I'm going to keep it, and I'll tell you why. This is the first set that I ordered on accident, and they're a lot smaller. They're probably like a third of the amount of the ones that I showed you, this 30 colors. And as you can see, it kind of looks a little sloppy because when this came, the pastels were actually all over the place. So I had to try to clean them off with a paper towel. And I haven't used this yet on the doll repaint, but since it's the same brand, I'm thinking about keeping this just because it has some colors that my other pastels might not have. But I just wanted to show y'all that it is a difference in price also. So if you didn't want to get these, because these are probably about $40-something for this set, you could get this. This set was probably only about like $8 or $9. And so this will be a good starter if you wanted to just test the waters and see if you like doing repaints, instead of getting this. So I'm gonna put both of the links below for both of these so that you can decide which one is best. And the last set of soft pastels that I have is from Faber-Castell. I actually got these from Michael's, and I had a coupon for like 50% off that day, so I got them. Now this is how those pastels look, and as you can see, they're a lot neater but then again, they weren't shipped to me from Amazon, so I don't know, that could have had something to do with it. And I also just want to say, if you're thinking about doing repaints, make sure that you get soft pastels. These are not oil pastels. I just wanted to make that clear. It's soft pastels. They're different from oil pastels, for anybody, because I know in school I used to use a lot of oil pastels, but they're two different things, so just keep that in mind. But again, I'll put the links in the description below. So here, as you can see, I added a little bit of blush to the lips, and then I started to go in with my watercolor pencils and draw with a brown that was a little bit darker than her skin, but really light, just in case I made some mistakes. I will be able to erase it with my kneaded eraser. So let me go ahead and show you the watercolor pencils that I use, as well as the eraser and my pencil sharpener. Okay, so the brushes that I use for the for my pastels when I was rubbing them in, I used some makeup brushes. This is BS Small brand. This is from Amazon. I actually got these to do makeup tutorials a long time ago, but my makeup tutorial channel turned into a nail tutorial channel, so I never used these brushes, and I wanted to show you the ones from the pack that I use. As you can see, it still kind of got a little bit I need to probably wash these off with soap and water. But these are the different sizes that I use for my repaint. So when I was blushing her face, I used the bigger brush when I'm trying to do larger areas, and then for the eyeshadow and different areas like that, I will either use this brush or this brush. And I also use these little brushes that I got from Michaels. These are sold separately, like in singles, and the size that I use is called a 20/0 flat. And I couldn't find this on Amazon. I'm not saying that they don't have it, but I had to go to the supply store. You want some brushes like this, okay? You're gonna need some tiny brushes to do the little details. I got these buy one get one half off, so I just wanted to let you know where I got my brushes. I did order some fine art brushes from Amazon.com, and I'll show you those, but to be honest, I didn't use any of those in this tutorial. These are the detail brushes that I ordered on Amazon.com, and I can put the link in the description below for you. I didn't use any of these in this tutorial. I'm pretty sure maybe in the future these will come in handy, but for this tutorial, the brushes that I had was really what I needed. And they didn't, as you can see, this set doesn't come with any brushes that look like this. So I just wanted to let y'all know that. And also, if you do nail art, because I do nail art, so I have nail art brushes also. Maybe depending on the set you have, some of your nail art brushes might work for some of the detail of the face paints. So first things first, before we get to the water pencils, you're gonna want a good sharpener. Now I got this Faber-Castell pencil sharpener from Michaels. I spent about $7 for this. I think this was either $6.99 or $7.99. And then I also got this other set that comes with extra blades from Amazon. So I will put the link in the description to this one. I didn't use this one yet, but this should be a really good. I really love this one because it has two different sizes. It has for the color grip, it says, and then the universal grip. And then you just flip it over and open it to clean it, which I love this. But this one is supposed to be a really good one too, so in case you can't make it to a craft store, I will put the link in the description for this one. Another thing, when you're using your like especially the pastels, it's very easy to erase or any mistakes that you might make with this Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. There are different brands. I just got the Faber-Castell one. I did get this from Amazon, so again, links in the description. And this is actually the one that I've been using to do my repaint. So you can basically shape it however you need to get to different crevices and really get details, okay? And you know, you can use it to also like let's say you're doing the eyebrows, you can use it to tighten up around the eyebrows and different things. It doesn't just have to be for mistakes. It can also just be to help you with your contouring. So now I'm going to show you my watercolor pencils, and this is between these and the pastels, these are the two main things that I use to do this repaint, okay? Now, watercolor pencils are different from regular color pencils, so yes, you need watercolor pencils. Regular aren't gonna work. This brand is Derwent. I absolutely love it. I paid about $73 for this on Amazon. It's completely worth it to me though, especially now that I've done my first repaint. It has a large color palette, a large color variety, and they have it also, like you can get a 24 pack, you can get a 36, so it'll be less money, but I just went ahead and got the full thing, which now I'm happy that I did because I really enjoy doing this repaint. And you can see that it has a lot of different color variety in there. So that's, you just move that. This is a magnetic strip. And again, like I said, I got this from Amazon. When I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do her face, I used this color, like I used the lighter color to go ahead and do her face, so that if I made any mistakes, I could easily, you know, erase any stray marks or anything like that. And then I just got darker and darker as I went on. And then anytime that I was like, okay, this is really good, let me go ahead and save it, I went ahead and did another coat of Mr. Super Clear. I don't use a ton of this stuff at all. I just spray like short bursts, like, you know, and that's it. It doesn't really take a lot to get a good tooth on it. And I only probably did, I would say, I used Super Clear. I probably did about 3 or 4 layers of this. The 4th layer being just to finish it at the end, to make sure that I could keep it like that and protect the surface. You also use this for if you're coloring with your watercolor pencils and you're like, okay, I'm not picking up any more colors, not getting any darker, you can go ahead and use this again. And then when you start using your color pencils and your pastels again, you're gonna see it stick to the face and be as bright and vibrant as you need it to be. So now the pictures that I'm showing you are basically just me continuing to go back in with my watercolor pencils and my soft pastels to just make it dark. Another thing, I didn't need to use any acrylic paint when I did this. I have tons of acrylic paint, so I thought I would need some, but you can use watercolor pencils like they're acrylic paint. All you have to do is wet the tip of the brush, and then you can rub it on the tip of the of the watercolor pencil, and it goes on just like acrylic paint. So that's just something to keep in mind. For finishing touches, I did Liquitex. This is gloss varnish. They have high gloss varnish, but I think the gloss varnish worked good for me. So you just take the gloss varnish, and I put it on her lips, and I also put it like on her pupils. On her iris, you would say, like the color of her eye. I didn't put it on the whites of her eye or anything. I just did the lips and the irises and the pupils. For her hair, I use yarn. This is actually acrylic yarn. See, acrylic yarn that I got from Walmart. This was like $2 and some change for this. And then I use this little cat brush because I have a cat. So I have a lot of cat brushes. But I use that to make the wefts. Now, I'm not going to show you in this video how to do it, but I'm going to put her picture right here so that you can see. And I'm going to put a link in the description to her tutorial because she already did this tutorial. And I absolutely loved it. I didn't think that I would enjoy doing these wefts because I thought it would take too long, but I enjoyed it. You know, it was really relaxing. And from the ones that I showed you, this is what I have left over. So that gives you kind of an idea of how many wefts and how much you would need to do a doll's head. I do have other tutorials coming, just of my own personal ways that I figured to do doll hair for dolls that I haven't seen on YouTube. So I have those coming, but for now, definitely check out that tutorial on her YouTube channel because I love this and you can do so much with it, and she has like a million tutorials on different hairstyles that you can do. For finishing touches, you can use Pearl X. I didn't use much of this stuff. I used a tad bit. I'm not really sure if it made a big difference because of the size of her eyes, but I put a little bit of green in her eye, and then I used a little bit of this like rose pink for her lip to give it a little bit of shimmer, but it's just very subtle, so you can't really see it unless you're paying attention to her in detail. And again, I have the link in the description from Amazon for this as well. And for finishing touches for her earring that I put in her ear, I actually use one of my stones, and you can use these stones for many different things. I use these usually for my nail art, and so I have them in different sizes. So I used the 2mm stone for her ear, and I just glued it there with regular glue. Even when I put in her hair wefts, I just use clear glue to create the wefts and to put them in, and it holds just fine. I'm gonna make wigs in the future, but since this was my first doll, I was kind of just anxious to get it done, and I just went ahead and glued it straight to her hair. Another supply that you might want to get is Epoxy Sculpt. This is like a sculpting clay that you can use, and I love this because you don't have to bake it or anything. I'm not really into that. So this is, it self dries. My next tutorial that I have that I'm actually going to record a step-by-step on how to do a face paint, I'm going to be using a Epoxy Sculpt because it's a real custom, and I don't even want to tell y'all what it is. I'm just really excited about it, and I'm hoping that it comes out the way that I envision it in my head. But Epoxy Sculpt is, you know, you can, like, let's say you wanted to add horns to the doll, or even if you wanted to make certain articles of clothing or shoes, you can use Epoxy Sculpt for so many things, even if you wanted to kind of resculpt their facial structure. And this was a picture when I was looking through my box of doll bodies. I thought that I could put her on another body, but it turned out that this doll, this Clawdeen doll, the ones that they make with this body style, it doesn't have like the same kind of internal head as the ones that are articulated. So when I put her on one of those dolls, her hair was just head was going all over the place, and I didn't want that, so I just kept her on her original body. And if y'all don't recognize, this is the Clawdeen that I did a review on from the Monster family of Clawdeen Wolf. That's the doll that I used for this tutorial. I hope that you all enjoyed this introduction to my first repaint. I've been wanting to share this, but I thought that it was probably appropriate that I first do a repaint before I do this video. But I've been dying to share all of these different tools and materials with you. As I said, I'm gonna have the link in the description below to where you can find all of this stuff on Amazon, and you don't have to second guess. You can know that you're using exactly the same things that I use. It is kind of an investment. I would say for all of these items I spent probably about $200, but to me it was well worth it, you know, because I just enjoy doing repaints, and I have so many more to come. Like I said, if you would like to see repaint tutorials, make sure that you comment below. Also, let me know what you think about my first official repaint, and I love y'all, and I talk to y'all later. Peace.